If you walk like you belong, most doors won't question you. Have you ever noticed how some people walk into a room like they were born to be there, even if they weren't invited? They don't ask for permission. They don't shrink themselves. They don't scan for approval. They walk in with presence, as if the room was made for them, like the opportunity was already theirs. And what happens? The room responds. People move, doors open, attention shifts. Why? Because here's one of the most underrated truths in life. If you walk like you belong, most doors won't question you. It's really all in the power of your presence. Before we even open our mouths, people feel our energy. Confidence, or the lack of it, enters the room before we do. You ever been in a room with someone who didn't say much but everyone noticed them? It wasn't because they were loud. It wasn't because they were dressed in gold or shouting their resume. It was because they carried themselves like they belonged. Not in an arrogant way, but in a grounded, unshakable way. Like they already had decided they were enough before anyone had the chance to. And guess what? The energy gets doors to open. Not because of status, not because of luck, but because confidence is magnetic. But what a lot of people fail to understand is that confidence starts on the inside. Let's be real. Most people are waiting. They're waiting for someone to tell them they're worthy. They're waiting for the perfect time. They're waiting to feel ready. But the truth is, confidence comes from action, not permission. Nobody hands it to you. Nobody sends you a certificate saying, okay, now you're officially allowed to believe in yourself. You decide. You step. You show up before you ever feel qualified. You walk into the room even when your knees are shaking. You speak up even when your voice is trembling. You apply for that role, even when your experience feels like it's not enough. Because you've already made a decision that you belong there, even if they haven't figured that out yet. And to be completely honest, most people are too insecure to question you anyway. And I feel like this is the twist most people miss. The majority of people you're worried about impressing are just as insecure as you. They're too busy doubting themselves to dissect you. They're too worried about being found out to call you out. So if you walk like you belong, like your value isn't up for debate, most people won't challenge you. Why? Because they assume you know something they don't. They assume your confidence is backed by something real. And let's be honest, it is. Even if you're just starting, even if you're still learning, here's the secret. You don't have to be the best. You just need to believe you belong in the room, and belief will carry you until your skill catches up. People respond to how you see yourself. Like, let that sink in. How others treat you will almost always mirror how you treat yourself. If you walk into a space timid, apologetic, second guessing your presence, you invite people to question your value. But if you walk in certain, steady, and clear, they rise to match your energy, because energy does not lie, and people feel conviction. They may not know your story. They may not know your qualifications, but if they feel your certainty, they'll trust your place at the table. So walk like you belong, and they'll assume that you do. Now let's be clear real quick. Faking it isn't about lying. It's about leading. And you might be wondering, what if I don't feel confident? Isn't that fake? Here's the deal. Fake it until you make it doesn't mean lie. It means lead. Lead yourself into the belief. Lead yourself into the space. Lead yourself through the fear. Act like the version of you that already made it, and let your behavior pull your mindset forward. This isn't about being dishonest. It's about stepping into alignment before the world gives you a stamp of approval. Because the newsflash is, the world rewards courage more than it rewards credentials. And the truth is, belonging is a decision, not a label. We get stuck in this trap of thinking we need external validation to feel worthy. Like we need someone to say you're hired, you're accepted, you're enough. But belonging isn't something someone gives you. It's something you decide for yourself before anyone else agrees. You say, I don't care if no one here looks like me. I don't care if I'm the most experienced. I don't care if I'm the underdog. I belong here because I've put in the work, because I'm ready to grow, because I'm done shrinking to make others comfortable. And once you decide that, doors stop asking questions. We build up these imaginary gatekeepers in our minds, the people in power, the experts, the elites, the decision makers. And oftentimes we assume they're untouchable or that they're flawless, that they have the power to validate or reject us. But here's the truth. They're just people. They've got insecurities. They've got blind spots. They've got imposter syndrome too. So if you treat them like gods, you'll always feel like a peasant. But if you see them as equals, human beings with flaws and fears just like you level the playing field. You stop begging, you start walking with power. You stop proving and you start positioning. And that shift, it changes everything. You don't have to know everything to be confident. Let me say this real clearly. Confidence isn't about knowing everything. It's about trusting yourself to figure it out. You don't need all the answers. You don't need the perfect plan. You don't even need a 10-year resume. You need belief, you need courage, and you need presence, because confidence is about posture, not perfection. You can say, I don't know, and still command respect. You can say, I'm still learning, and still be powerful, because the real flex is being unapologetically in progress. While you are in progress, though, you might deal with imposter syndrome. But let me tell you this, imposter syndrome dies when you own your story. Imposter syndrome shows up when you believe you're not enough, despite all the evidence that you are. It tells you you're not ready, you don't deserve this, they'll find out you're a fraud. But here's how you kill that voice. You own your story, you stop pretending, you stop hiding your path. Instead, you say, yeah, I don't have the traditional background, but I've got the drive. I've got experience, I've got perspective, and that's valuable because the world doesn't need more of the same. It needs you, your edge, your grit, your difference. That's where your power lies. The room is lucky to have you, not the other way around. This is the mindset shift that'll change your life. Stop acting like you're lucky to be in the room and start realizing the room is lucky to have you. Your presence brings value, your ideas bring innovation, your story brings perspective. So stop shrinking, stop dimming, and stop auditioning. You've already earned your spot, and if you haven't, show up like you did, because confidence isn't about deserving, it's about deciding. And let me circle back to the main point real quick. If you walk like you belong, most doors won't question you. And that's just not about physical spaces. It's about opportunities. It's about relationships. It's about dreams. Most doors aren't locked. They're just waiting for someone bold enough to turn the handle. So stop waiting for an invitation. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop asking, am I allowed in? Because you're allowed, you're enough, and you belong. And you don't need to be loud, just certain. Let's be real. Confidence isn't always loud. It's not arrogance. It's not being the center of attention. Sometimes the most powerful presence is calm, still, and grounded. You don't need to dominate the room. You just need to walk in like your presence makes a difference, because it does. And people feel that. They feel the energy of someone who knows who they are, someone who isn't performing, someone who isn't seeking validation, someone who walks like they belong because they do. So let the room rise to your energy. And the truth is, most people are waiting for permission to be themselves. So when you walk in with certainty, it gives others permission to do the same. You change the energy of the space, you raise the frequency, you set the tone, because confidence is contagious. And when you walk like you belong, other people start believing they can too. That's leadership, that's impact, and that's power. I'll leave you with this before I go. Belonging isn't given, it's claimed. Stop looking for someone to give you a seat at the table. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop hoping someone sees your potential. Start showing up like the table needs what you bring. Start walking like the moment is already yours. Start believing that your name belongs in every room you dream of, because once you believe it, the world catches up. So walk like you belong. Speak like you're worthy. Move like the door was already open. Because the moment you decide to stop questioning yourself, the world stops questioning you too. If this message landed deep, if it sparked something, hit the like button to help it reach someone who needs to hear it. And please remember, most doors won't question you if you stop questioning yourself. So start walking, start believing in yourself so that those doors can start to unlock for you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. In the meantime, stay humble, be blessed, and keep going.